ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to the Bhakti Shastri class Ishopanishad. Today is the day 2. Today we will be studying about the invocation mantra of Ishopanishad. श्री श्री राधा गोविंद की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। This is the first verse or the invocation of Ishopanishad. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavakishyate. This invocation mantra, it is not a part of the Ishopanishad, but it is the invocation. Invocation means it is the auspicious beginning. The Ishopanishad begins with the Ishavasya Sarvam verse itself. That's why the name is given as Ishopanishad. Isha means the Supreme Lord, and the mantra begins with the Isha, the word Isha. So it is called as Ishopanishad, Upanishad. This Ishopanishad, whatever we have in the form of book, hope everyone has the book with you, Prabhupada's copy. Okay. So this book was not written as a book by Srila Prabhupada. This book was written as an article in the Back to Godhead magazine, which Prabhupada had published. He started publishing in 1944. That is BTG, Back to Godhead, when Prabhupada was in India. Those times, if you see the history, that is the Second World War time. The Second World War ended in 1945. So this BTG, Back to Godhead magazine, started in 1944. So that means it was a peak time for the war in all over the world. At that time, Prabhupada published this Ishopanishad teachings to prove how the Ishavasya principle has to be followed. If we implement this Ishavasya principle, understanding that everything belongs to Krishna and we can only take our quota, we should not encroach upon others' property. Where the world was going in the opposite direction, everyone wants to have the property of others. They are colonizing people and they are taking away all the property of the poor nations, and those who are powerful, only they will be able to survive. Such kind of situation was being created. In that situation, Prabhupada has written this article in the Back to Godhead magazine, and that was later made into a book. That is what we can see now here. It is as a Ishopanishad book. So it is very earliest book that Prabhupada has compiled. Now coming to the invocation, here we don't find the name of the person. This is all pronoun. That is, pronoun means in English we say he, she, that, this, like that. What is it? It is not clearly spoken. That is complete. This is complete. This has come from that, and because that this has come from that, both that and this both are complete. So in this way, some jugglery words are used. If you see the translation there, the personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself, because he is the complete whole. Even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. In the complete book of this Ishopanishad, we don't find the word Krishna. Prabhupada only describes the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the complete, that, like that only he will be explaining. And he is trying to explain the people who is supreme. Because the this portion of the Veda that we have seen in the last class, the Upanishads, they will be coming at as a Vedanta. Vedanta means the summary of the entire Veda, or the essence of the Veda, which will be in general as a practice will be studied at the end of the ashrama, that is in the sannyasa ashrama. Or a person, when he is ready for the spiritual learning, he will be coming to the Ishopanishad. So that's how the Upanishads will take a person from Karma Kanda to the Jnana Kanda section. In the Karma Kanda section, what happens? Generally, every living entity, they have Pravritti Marga. That is, I want to enjoy. If you want to enjoy, okay, enjoy in such a way that you don't get entangled. Or enjoy in such a way that understanding how you can enjoy to the fullest extent by understanding what is the right way to enjoy this material world. That is Karma Kanda, using the instructions in the Vedas and performing certain austerities and sacrifices and getting the benefits for material enjoyment. That is Karma Kanda section. Now, when the person is completely frustrated with the Karma Kanda practice, because by Karma Kanda practice, one can go to heaven, and with that pious credit, the punya, he can enjoy there for some time, and he has to come back once again. This is like small children playing merry-go, go up and down, go up, climb there, and jump from there. You come down, again go up, and keep coming down. There is no progress. When a person is able to understand this, then he will think, can I come out of this cycle, the cycle of birth and death? At that moment, these Upanishads will take him to the next level, where the person is not yet ready to take the personal name and attributes of the Lord directly. So in this way, it will be spoken. That is, we can see here the words like Om Purnamadaha. Om means, Om refers to the Krishna directly, but here it is referring to the complete whole, and Purnam, perfectly complete, Adaha, that is that. That complete whole is perfectly complete. Here, that, the word that refers to Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And who is perfectly complete? That is Krishna. The Lord Krishna is perfectly complete. And complete whole, from whom everything is coming, that is also Krishna only. So Om Purnamadaha refers to the Lord only. That complete whole is perfectly complete. This refers to Krishna. Now, what are the different things that comes from Lord? Lord Sri Krishna, being perfect and complete, independently perfect and complete, who is also called as Atma Rama, from him, there are so many universes coming out. And these universes are perfect and complete in itself. The universe, when it is created, it has all the ingredients for maintaining the living entities in that. When we are living in this earth, we have everything. We have the food for eating, we have the water for drinking, we have sunlight, moonlight, the vegetables, everything is there here only. It's not that we have to go to moon and get some ingredients, and we have to go to Mars and get some more ingredients, and after acquiring all the ingredients together, then we can make our life. No such situation is created. As soon as the living entity takes birth, everything is there. When a child takes birth, immediately the mother will give the milk. So how this is coming, that is inconceivable. The Lord is arranging everything. Because the Lord is complete, the whatever comes out of him is also complete. And there are unlimited incarnations the Lord is taking so that he can take all these fallen conditioned souls back to Godhead. Those incarnations are also complete and perfect. And the expansion, the Jiva, the living entities who are coming out of Krishna, they are also perfect and complete. So all these things are coming out of Krishna and all are complete and perfect. So that is the meaning here. Om Purnamadaha, that is, O Krishna, you are complete. Om Purnamidam, that is, these universes and incarnations of the Lord and the living entities, these are also complete. And the Purnat Purnamudachyate. From this Purna, from the Lord, all these Purnas have come out. And Purnasya Purnamadaya. If you remove this Purna, all this Purna from the original Purna, both remains complete. This is again inconceivable in the material understanding. Because if you remove 1,000 rupees from 1,000 rupees, then what remains? It is not 1,000 rupees which remains back, it remains 0. If you have 1 lakh rupees, and if you remove 1 lakh rupees from that, then what remains is 0. It is not possible to have complete after removing the complete from the complete. But it can be understood in certain way. That is, if you take the mathematics, you can, to some extent, we can understand what this statement is. If you see all the natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is there any limit to that? Can I stop somewhere? It is infinite, isn't it? If you tell me any one number, I can tell you the next number. So it is unlimited. It goes on. So that is the complete. And now we'll take out certain complete things from the complete. That is, for example, all odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These all are odd numbers. Or 2, 4, 6, 8. These all are even numbers. Or prime numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 11. All these are prime numbers. Now these complete I will take away. So all natural numbers are there, which is infinite and which is complete. And I will remove certain number. I'll remove the even numbers. Now these even numbers have come out from the natural numbers, and both are complete or both are infinite. The natural numbers also can go on, and the even number or odd number or prime number, they also can go on. Both are infinite. So infinite is removed from the infinite, keeping both as infinite. So this is one way how we can understand through the mathematics what this shloka is speaking about. But still, this analogy is incomplete. How this analogy is incomplete? When I remove the odd numbers from the natural number, that odd number is absent in the natural number. But that is also not present in the absolute. In absolute truth, Everything is complete. If you remove infinite things from infinity, then both remains infinite. So this is how, in some way, the material calculations, we can try to understand what this shloka means. Now, how to realize Krishna? Realizing Krishna means there are three processes. One is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. This is the first understanding that we have got in our 18-day Bhagavad Gita class. When Vyasadeva writes Shri Bhagavan Vacha, we'll learn this topic. So this is nothing new for us. So when we realize Brahman, we are realizing the Sat feature of the Supreme Lord, that is, he is eternally present. And when we come to the Paramatma realization, we are realizing the Sat and Chit potency. Sat means he is eternal. Chit means he is all knowledgeable. He knows everything. He has complete knowledge. That is Chit potency. And Bhagavan realization is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. That is the pleasure potency of the Lord that is understood. So in this way, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are realized. There can be an example given for this, how these three kinds of realizations, they are complete in itself, either Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, but still in our perception, it is limited. Say there is gulab jamun which is being cooked in the kitchen, and the person who is sitting outside the kitchen, he can make out that there is some gulab jamun inside the kitchen. How he will be able to understand? There are three ways we can realize gulab jamun. How do you realize gulab jamun?
Flavor, smell.
Yeah, flavor.
Taste.
Smell.
Yes.
Ice.
Sweetness of it.
Yeah, sweetness. So there are three senses involved. One is eyes, nose, and tongue. These are the three senses which can realize what is gulab jamun. But they are, one is Brahman, one is Paramatma, other one is Bhagavan realization. So Brahman realization is very preliminary. That is, when you are sitting outside the room, you'll just get the smell of the gulab jamun. You have not seen it and you have not tasted it. That is the existence of the Lord. Existence of the Lord in each and everything that is happening in this world. That is Jnana section, where the person is able to understand these things cannot work on its own. There is someone who is working behind. That is the Sat potency or Brahman realization. Now, after that, the gulab jamun is brought in front of you, and you are able to see the gulab jamun. That is Paramatma realization, where the person is determined to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he starts performing austerity. Dhyana vastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. The yogis, they perform dhyana, that is meditation, and through the meditation for so many years, they will be able to see the brightness of the toenail of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is some vision they'll get after so many lifetimes. That is Paramatma realization. Within the heart, they will realize the Lord. Then, in the next step, that is Bhagavan realization, you'll be able to take the gulab jamun and keep it inside the mouth, and the sweetness of that gulab jamun will be felt. That is the Bhagavan realization, where we will be coming in touch with the devotees and we will hear the sweet pastimes of the Lord, like the Bhagavatam. When we hear the sweet pastimes of the Lord, then we get attached to the Lord and we get detached from this material world, or we will lose the taste for enjoyment of this sense pleasure. Then the person will never come back here because he has got the Param Drishtva Nivartate, the higher taste. nobody will come back once he tastes the sweetness of the Lord. So that is Bhagavan realization, Sat, Chit and Ananda potency. The Lord is a complete person and he is a person. Satchidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. We should also remember the word Vigraha. Vigraha means he's a person. He is like us only. Means we have the form. The Lord is also have the form. But our form is temporary. We had a small form in our childhood and now we have a different form. And after 20-25 years, we'll have another form. Our form keeps changing because this is a material form. But Krishna's form is eternal. He is always perfect. He is always he remains the same. That is the Vigraha. If you see the purport that Srila Prabhupada has given, in the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about the Bhagavan realization. And he also explains the Satchidananda Vigraha realization of the absolute truth. And in the next second paragraph, Prabhupada explains about the material world, how the material world is acting, and what are the ingredients, the 24 elements, and how this material world is also complete, and why we feel the incompleteness within this complete world. Even though the Lord has made it complete, I feel it as incomplete. What is the reason? That is explained. And then in the third paragraph, Prabhupada explains about the importance of this human form. What is special about human form of life as compared to other 8,400,000 or 84 lakh species of life? What we can do other than the animals and other living entities. And finally, in the fourth paragraph, Prabhupada explains about what is real completeness, or what is actually the shloka here it is speaking about, that is explained by Srila Prabhupada. And finally, he concludes that the real completeness can be achieved through the devotional service. So that is all about this invocation mantra. Prabhupada has given 4 paragraphs of purport here. Now, what is the reason for incompleteness? Incompleteness is due to the ignorance of complete whole. Why do we feel incomplete in this material world? We find incompleteness, isn't it? Do we feel incompleteness in this material world, or is it complete? Do we have everything? Are we all happy in this world?
No.
No. So can we call it as complete?
No.
It cannot be called as complete. No, none of us feel the completeness. Even though Krishna says you are complete, I am complete, you are come from me, so both of us are complete, but still we are feeling incomplete. Why it is so? Because we are ignorant about the complete whole, and that is Krishna. Because we are ignorant of about the Lord, we feel the incompleteness. Because we are infinitesimal, Krishna is infinite. When the infinitesimal comes to the infinite, then everything becomes infinite. We feel the infinite presence, the complete whole. But when we remove ourselves from the complete, we feel the incompleteness. And what is that ignorance? This ignorance is not knowing the complete arrangement for our maintenance, making effort to be happy by sense enjoyment. We are trying to become happy by sense enjoyment. And we have no idea that Krishna is the real maintainer. We are doing all kinds of endeavor to become happy by ourselves. So that is the root cause of our ignorance. I just don't know that I am being maintained by Krishna. If I agree to this, then I have to obey. I have to obey Krishna and I have to follow his instructions. I am not ready for that. So that is the ignorance. And what I am doing instead, making all kinds of effort, thinking that by obtaining the sense gratificatory objects, I can become happy. Sense enjoyment is the motto of modern civilization. Make more and more money and be happy. Become a rich man, make a lot of money, make a lot of good name, fame, and then you can become happy. This is what we teach to the students, children also. When they are small children, we'll say, you study nicely, then after studies, you will become happy. And once they finish their study, then you work, more work. You after few years, you will come to a good position, then you will make good money and you will become happy. And that happiness will never come. Only the hard work will go on. And what is illusion here? Trying to enjoy without dovetailing with complete whole. When our enjoyment, it is not told that one should not enjoy. Because anandamayo abhyasat. Every living entity wants to become happy. It may be human being, animals, birds, insects, everything. They want to become happy. If you see a small dog, what is his happiness? It wants to find a good place where he can sleep nicely, nobody disturbs him. And it also makes sure that it will get the food whenever it is hungry. And even it will identify the people who has fed me last time and where I got my food in the last time. So when that person comes, he will swing his tail. He swings very fast and he will make all kinds of dancing. So it knows that if I serve this person, he will feed me and I will become happy. So trying to become happy is there in each and every living entity. An ant also tries to become happy. It is trying to find the grains of sugar or any grains like that. So trying to become happy, there is no problem. But trying to become happy independent of Krishna will make us unhappy. Because we cannot become happy without Krishna. And if we think that it is possible, then it is illusion. And Jiva is a part of Krishna, and that is the Jivera Swarupahaya, Krishnera Nityadasa, and they have to serve Krishna to become happy. The example is given, hand and the body. If you compare this whole body as a complete whole, and our hand is a part of it, part of this body. Can we list what are the things we can do with the hand? Beginning from morning to evening, what are the things we do with the hand?
Chant Prabhuji, we offer obeisances to the Lord.
Yeah. There are unlimited things we can do with the hands. The hand is the most important organ for a human being, which is not available in the animal form. Even though they have hands, they use it as a leg. But for human being, the hand is like, you can do so many things. Okay, this hand is very valuable. You can do so many things. Can I take away somebody's hand, cut off and use it for my pleasure? It is not possible. It just stops working. It will become a dead body. I can't say like, oh, your hand is very useful for you. Give me, I will use it for some other purpose. That is not possible. Similarly, the living entity is made for serving Krishna. And if you think that, oh, you are serving Krishna so nicely, now you come to me and I will give you some other work. Or the Jiva thinks, okay, I am so expert in doing, okay, I will do myself, I will enjoy myself. Then everything will be gone. The Jiva, he will enjoy or he will feel the completeness or complete happiness when he is with the Krishna. And when we are away from Krishna, our freedom, our enjoyment, our real happiness, everything will be doomed. If you see the word bhajan, bhajan means, or sankirtan means, all the people come together and glorify the Lord. And by doing this, we all can become happy, or we all can live together. This is the secret of joint family. In the earlier days, there were joint family because everyone was having Krishna or the Lord as the center of their family. Even now also they have the family deity. They worship the Lord yearly once, at least they will worship the Lord. So this keeps them together. But when you have vibhajan, bhajan is bringing together. But you give up this bhajan, or the main center point of the life, that is Krishna, if you remove him from the center, then it creates vibhajan. That means everyone wants to become the center. I want to sit there. So if there is no Krishna at the center now, then who will be there? Then somebody else has to sit there. So I will do that. I will become first, or I will become the prime. I want to be worshipped. I want to be the Lord. So everyone will compete each other, and there is friction, and they all go separately. That's how we have micro family now. Because I want to live independently. I don't want to obey you. I don't want to listen to you. Everyone will get separated. When we are keeping Krishna at the center, even in family life, everything will be perfect. That is the main goal of family life also. Keep Krishna at the center and worship the Lord together. And if you forget Krishna, and when people try to enjoy their sense gratification without Krishna, life without Krishna, it will make everything miserable. Anybody would like to read? You can raise your hand. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Complete whole must contain everything. If he were formless, if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. The complete whole must contain everything both within and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. Shri Ishopanishad Invocation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Now, Prabhupada is speaking about impersonalism here. In impersonalism, they say that there is only one consciousness. There is nothing else. Everything is impersonal. The personal aspect is neglected, or it is nullified. So basically, we can have the object, the subject, and the consciousness. So what is object here? If you say in this process of speaking and hearing, if I am the object because I am speaking, and you are the subject, those who are hearing the class, and there is a medium, that is the consciousness. So all the three things are there. There is object, there is subject, and there is the consciousness, all the three. But as per the impersonal people, impersonalist, they don't have the object, they don't have the subject, there is only the consciousness. They negate both. They say that there is no form for the Lord, and there is no form for us also. We have this body, the material form, and at the time of death we lose the form and will become formless. We'll become one with the Lord. Then Krishna is, Srila Prabhupada is asking here, if Krishna is formless, then how he can be complete? When we say Om Purnamadaha, that means the Lord is complete. How can this incompleteness be with the complete? Impersonalist or impersonal aspect is there in the Lord. That is, the Lord is covered with the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence. That is not a person, but that is an aspect of the Lord, but that is not everything. That is not complete. It's a beginning of realization, Brahman realization. This we'll learn in the next coming part, in the next sessions. Hiranmayena Patrena. By not having the form, the Lord is, we are telling that the Lord is incomplete. So by this logic, we can say the Lord has form, but the problems of the material world by having a form is not there with the Lord. Whatever difficulties we obtain in this material world, it is because of our body. We have the pain through our body. We feel the heat, cold, or somebody will shout at us, we'll fight with someone. It is all through the body. If there is no body, then there is no suffering in this material world. But that doesn't mean that after liberation, one will not have the body. But the body will be there, but the sufferings will not be there. When a person is a patient, when he is admitted to a hospital, when he is under medication, he will be taking a lot of pain. He'll be eating some bitter medicine, and a lot of pain will be there. Injection will be given. A lot of pain is there. But it doesn't mean that once you get discharged from the hospital, you will not have the body. No, you will have the body, but the pain will not be there. The pain of the body will not be there, but the body will be there. But the impersonalists, they will negate both. The pain is also not there, and the cause of the pain, the body is also not there. That is their incomplete understanding. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. This is the phenomenal world. All emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. And Purnat Purnam Udachyate. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Now, there are people who believe in the Lord, and there are people who do not believe in the Supreme Lord. Those who believe in Krishna or the Supreme Lord, the existence of the supreme energy or power, whatever the people generally say, they are called as theists. And those who don't believe in it, they are called as atheists. Now, generally, if you see why the theists or the people who believe in the Lord, why they say that there is Lord, the general statement, the general understanding is, just observe this material world. There is so much of completeness, or there is so much of arrangement. There is sun, there is moon. The sun produces heat and light, and he will make the cloud to form, and the cloud will shower the rain. And because of that, we have the grain, the vegetables, and through when we eat that, the digestion happens. That is also because of the Lord. Our entire metabolism, it takes place by the grace of the Lord. And they are telling that, see, so much of right is there. Everything is going on so perfectly. Can't you see this? Yes, that's why the Lord is there. But the atheist says that, so see, there is so much of imperfection in this material world. There is so much of suffering. Why people are fighting with each other? Why the rain is coming even on the ocean when it is not necessary? Why there are people who fight with each other, they kill each other, and nothing looks like nobody is in control. Everything going on out of hand. So much of imperfect or so much of wrong things are there. And the atheist says, no, that it is not possible. Either there is no Lord, God is not there, or even if God is there, he is not capable of controlling the things. So much of injustice is going on. People are being cheated or murdered. All these things are happening. Now, how do we answer this question? Which is correct? You can unmute yourself.
Theistic philosophy, Prabhuji, that is true.
Those are theists, they are correct.
Correct, because atheistic, they really don't want to look for any of their own mistakes, or they always target the weaknesses. I mean, they are not positive in their thoughts as well. So it's basically because of the consciousness, because they want to enjoy everything. That is their main mentality, that there shouldn't be, they want everything perfect according to their understanding.
Yes.
That's
And God has given the free will, Prabhuji, that they are not accepting that part.
Yeah. So the way how we look at this world is wrong. This world is not meant for enjoyment. If we think that this world is made by the Lord for our enjoyment, that understanding itself is wrong. This world is not a hotel. It is a jail, or it is a hospital.
And this is, Prabhuji, the most understanding for majority of the youngsters, majority of the people.
Pardon, Mataji, I did not get your point.
Prabhuji, most of the youngsters, most of the people have this concept only, the khao piyo masti karo, that is all where the life has come for. Eat, drink, make merry.
Yes. Yeah, that is
Now even the culture, Prabhuji, with the girls have gone into the same situation.
Yeah. Yes. This is the this is the where the root cause of the problem is there. We are thinking that this world is a hotel or this is a restaurant. I'm coming here and I'm ordering. I have to be served by someone. But Krishna says this world is not a restaurant or it is not a hotel, but it is a jail or it is a hospital. Now, if we see the jail or hospital, it has completeness and it does its purpose, but at the same time it has a suffering also. And suffering is a part of the design. It is not a mistake in the design. We think that when we see the imperfection in this material world, we think that it is an imperfection of the creator. But no, this is not an imperfection of the creator. That pain is also a part of his design. Because he don't want you to be settled here completely, eternally. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Now, when we see the things, whatever things are happening in this world, the atheists say that because there are so much imperfection, then whatever happening here, that is also not because of the Lord. It is just some accident. Some automatically things are going on. That's what they say. But when we say automatic, what does it mean? What automatic doesn't mean that there is no operator. Automatic means there is no need for the intervention of the operator. That is the meaning of automatic. Automatic doesn't mean nobody is in control. But the personal presence of the person is not necessary for an automatic system. And Lord has a perfect automatic system. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natasya sama adhikascha drishyate. Parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate, swabhaviki jnana bala kriyacha. The Lord's energy is so perfect that he don't have to worry about it. It just goes on. Just like we have self-driven car. You just go and sit there. It will take you wherever you want without making any accident. Does it mean that it doesn't have any designer? It has a designer, but that designer don't have to be in that car when you are using it. He is so perfect that he left the car in your hand and he made sure that everything will go perfectly. That's how this material world is designed. This world is self-sustaining. That is the functioning of this material world. Now, if you see the purpose, why this material world is made. So Krishna says this is for our reformation. It is not for our enjoyment. We can use this material world for going back to Godhead. That we can achieve. But we cannot use this material world to become happy eternally. That is not possible. We use the mobile phone for making the call. We use the computer for making this Zoom call, or we can have a discussion like this. But what if I'm trying to present this presentation with my mobile, there will be a lot of difficulty. The mobile, first of all, it has a very small screen and it doesn't have a mouse. I have to make all through the touch screen, and it doesn't have a pen drive slot. So I am complaining. Who has designed this mobile? It is a useless device. I am not able to make this call, your Zoom call, or not able to make this Bhakti Shastri class. This mobile phone is a useless object. This is like using a device or an object for a wrong purpose. If I use it for right purpose, when I want to speak to someone, I can use mobile and I can call them, or I can send text messages, short messages I can send. And there are so many things I can do with the mobile. Of course, I can hear the class with the mobile, but I cannot give the class with the mobile. Similarly, this material world also. If you go to jail, and sitting in the jail, the person is complaining, who has designed this jail? I'm not getting the food what I want in time. I'm not cared properly. Or if you go to hospital and ask, who has designed this hospital? I'm not able to eat whatever I want. I'm not able to go out whenever I need. First of all, understand you are inside the jail, or you are inside the hospital. When you are inside the jail, you have to work for the jail. Whatever punishment they give, one has to accept it. Or when the doctor comes, he gives the injection, he has to bear the pain. It is for your own good. You cannot complain against it. Because you have taken the admission in that, or you have either you have come voluntarily or you are forcefully put inside, somehow you are there. So you have to bear the pain. You cannot complain. Similarly, when we are in this material world, we should try to go back to Godhead. All the facilities for going back to Godhead is given in this material world, but not for our sense gratification. If we go on enjoying this material world, if we try to go on enjoying, then there will be a lot of problem that arises. There will be so many competitors for us. There will be so many obstacles for our enjoyment. And if you see the design of this material world is wonderful. Even the scientists cannot understand how this material world is designed. We are having the vehicles now, and we are trying to make our vehicles automatic. It should not make any accidents. It should be self-driving, and it should not create any pollution. Even if there is any output of the vehicle, it should be biodegradable, and it should not create environmental hazards, pollution. The Lord has already made it. People were using it earlier. You take the example of a horse cart. It is a self-driving car. The horse knows, if you just show the path once, in earlier days, the bullock cart, the bull knows the path. Once it gets the path, the person who is driving, you don't have to worry about. He will just sleep. And the bull will take to the destination. What is the starting point? What is the ending point? It knows exactly. And it will not make any accident. It will straight away go. And it will not hit other bullock carts, because it is also a person. Our vehicles don't have the pain. Our vehicle doesn't understand that if I hit that vehicle, my driver will get pain. But if you have the animals, the horse or the bull, they will not hit each other, because if I hit him, I will also get the pain. And the pollution, what the bull or the horse, whatever the output they give, it is easily biodegradable. They don't give any air pollution or cancerous effects. Such things are not there. It is easily biodegradable. And the food what we give for them, it is grown within our land itself. So this is like a dream of all modern day scientists. We are making everything using the machines, but the Lord has already made it. This is called a symbiotic system. You have two factories. One factory is producing certain kind of product, and the output of that product will be consumed by another factory. And that second factory will produce another kind of product, and the byproduct of that second factory will be the raw material for the first factory. So if you have this kind of factories, two factories together, it can go on for eternity without any stoppage. But what happens in our system, the byproduct of our one factory, there is no utility for that. Not only that, to dispose that waste also we have to pay. We have to pay money for disposing the waste, what we are making. But the nature, whatever the Lord has made, it is easily disposed. Not only that it becomes a raw material for another one. Just like the trees are producing fruits, and this fruit will be consumed by the animals. And animals, they produce the excreta, whatever they output, it will become a manure for the plants. So they nurture each other. In the civilization which was centered around the Krishi Goraksha, the cultivation and cow protection, when you have the land produces crop. This crop will be fed to the cows, and cow produces cow dung, and cow dung is a manure for the crop. So cow takes care of the crop takes care of the cows, and whatever profit comes, it is yours. Such a wonderful system. But now we have lost it. We are trying to make big cities, big buildings, and we don't know where to throw the garbage. You have to pay for the corporation. Unless you pay, they will not take the waste. So this is a wonderful system that Krishna has made, and we are not able to realize it. So this is the completeness. The Lord is complete, and whatever world he has made, it is also complete. And if we see any incompleteness in this material world, it is because of our mistake. We are not able to understand the real purpose of this material world. That's why we see incompleteness. Otherwise, there is no incompleteness in this material world. Now we have a example activity. Examples from nature of the completeness of this world. How do you say that this material world is complete? I think the breakout room. Do you need breakout room for this, or shall we directly speak? What is your opinion?
I think lift our hands.
Directly, yeah. Yeah,
Directly.
directly should.
Yeah, I will lower the hand. You people will have certain things to say. You can directly lift your hand and speak. So what are the completeness that we can see in this material world? How this material world is complete? That is the question.
Nature.
Yes, Mataji, please. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. If we are just considering sunlight, that is supposed to be the universal source of energy. From that energy, all the plants are taking energy, and they make food material for themselves and also for the entire universe. So everybody will be fed by the energy of Lord, and that way it is complete. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, I am audible, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
So feeding part is done by plants,
Yeah.
and energy sources, sun, and in that way that feeding part becomes complete. It is the arrangement done by Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dipti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavana.
Hare
Prabhuji, actually, I was also thinking about the fruits and the trees, how we are, how the trees are providing the nourishment for everyone. And even when they provide surplus amount of fruits, they are never, the trees are always full with fruits. And the process, the way it happens, as Mataji mentioned, like the seeds are there, then the sapling is there. So it is an automated process, like how on time, how the various seasons change accordingly. I mean, it's everything is so regulated. So this is one example. And Prabhuji, how we have the renewable sources of energy and non-renewable. Now it is like a degradation is going on, but how the Lord has completely automated this entire system without, and as you mentioned, Prabhuji, that there is we need an the automation is there. I mean, automated. The engineer is really not visible to us, but yes, somebody is there to operate that particular machine also. So
Yes.
yeah, so this is what I wanted to mention, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Radha Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
The water sources are also complete in itself. They help giving, provide water to the humans, the plants, the animals, and also this water gets evaporated, gets built the cloud, and then the cloud bursts and comes in the form of the rain, and then from the rain the grains grow. So that circle, that whole life cycle of the water management is also happening, and that's also complete. And without water, the life is not possible.
Yes, Mataji. We have a water minister, but we say that there is no management for the Lord. Everything
Yeah,
is automatic. How is that possible?
Yeah,
It's all maintained.
Yeah, even the travel, if you see the logs of wood, the travel system, you travel from one country, whether it is animals, the humans, that also happens through water.
And also the water is protected.
Protected.
The ocean is full of water, but you cannot touch it.
Correct.
Only the Lord has to evaporate it and give it as a pure drinking water.
Yeah.
Then we can drink.
Correct.
We cannot encroach it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji. Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I would speak into my own field. See, the health. Health is one thing which Lord has given by himself. The people used to get up in the morning, early morning. That's why Mangla Aarti is kept. You kept up early this to give a little more fresh air. Now the fresh air even in the morning is unfresh. It's so polluted even in the morning if you go because of the vehicles. So what is there? We've created the diseases. We've created all this by eating wrong things, by living in the wrong environment, and then we are trying to treat it. And that also Lord has made it. That Ayurvedic, he had made it. He had made the plants and all. If there is the Ayurvedic, because I haven't studied Ayurvedic, but I know that the Ayurvedic also works very well. And in that case, and you see the nature, Prabhuji, how Lord has made the completeness. See, even in my field, if patient doesn't even come, the patient can conceive, can carry on the pregnancy, and can even deliver. They do not. Lord has made this whole cycle. It is only that to facilitate or to help them out that we are there, to just reassure that everything is fine. Otherwise, nature and how much complete it is, even the procreation is so complete. Creation itself has made it into when we see also by ultrasound, we are ourselves bewildered that how God has created. We are not the one making it grow. We are just reassuring patient and we are just telling them, okay, your things are going fine. But who is the creator? So it's a live example we see about the completeness of our human body, of our human existence, of what we are. So that if we relate it to the Lord, we know that there's a creator who's there, who's a controller, and there are sometimes mishaps happening. In best of the situations, we are not able to control the things inside. So that is automatically what we have done is we have tried to manipulate things and trying to interfere with what Lord has made and trying to facilitate things according to our convenience. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Muralidhar Prabhu.
Prabhuji, my thought is our birth. It is also of the 5 elements. We are born, we finish our life, and then we go back. We again go back into the 5 elements. That cycle is also very, very perfectly designed and perfectly executed. Of course, I am presuming that you are cremated. Otherwise, there are some other methods of either burying it or storing it. And people do keep, I saw in Malaysia, they have places where you can give your urn and preserve the urn for ages together with your name and signatures. So there is a system that is totally complete in its cycle, from birth to death, and then maybe recycled, just like the water source that all of them were referring to. I was also thinking of the water source, how it comes as rain, how it starts the journey and comes back in various forms. Everything is a perfect cycle of perfection, absolute perfection. And it cannot be just that it is automatically working. Like you said, you're right. The creator need not be sitting in the cycle. He need not be visible in the cycle. he has remote control on it, or remote ability to deal with the whole thing, which is automatically working, and we think we are doing something in that. And that time I am always reminded, we are just the probably the little stick under the Govardhan hill. That's all the little role we have. Otherwise, we are thinking that you are great creatures. It is not so. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Even the king of a nation, he thinks that without me, the kingdom will not go. But if the king dies, there will be someone else who comes and takes care. So everything will be taken care. But I am thinking that without me, how can this family will run? How can these things will go on? That feeling is there. That creates us incompleteness.
All those who thought that, no, that without me nothing would work, or dekhte hai without me what happens, they are all underneath now. It's 6/3 or 6/4. That's how I look at it.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I want to say one more example. I happened to hear recently in some temple, they are just keeping goshalas, not ISKCON temples. But these goshalas, they are finding out the original breed of various cows, or Surabhi type of cows are brought and kept.
Yeah.
Why it is needed? Because the originality is already lost, because we are doing so much of gene manipulation and the original breed is already gone. And I can easily make out in my neighborhood, I could see that there are certain farmhouses and there those cows cannot eat all ordinary grass or that jackfruit things and all. Earlier we used to throw there all those things, and original varieties of that cows used to consume all those. But these man-made cows cannot have it. So you can find how incomplete man's creation and what is the original God's creation. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. The Lord has made the cows not only for feeding the milk for the human being. The cow has so many purposes, but we made it like a milk giving machine. They made so many genetic changes. Now we cannot even call it as a cow, because it has the genes of other animals also. It sometimes behaves not like a cow, because a cow is so sensitive. It has so much of energy. It is said that when the person who is taking care of the cow, when he is not feeling well, the cow can understand and it can eat that particular kind of the medicines and give it in the form of milk. And the person who drinks that milk, he gets cured. So that so much system is there in the cow. That is the greatness of the original breed. But now we are putting the machines for milking the cow, and we are only making how to increase the milk content in the cow. We want 20 liters of milk in one cow, but the cow is giving 2-3 liters. That is how it is made by the Lord. And that milk is like nectar. Even if Prabhupada says, if you drink the milk of the cow, your brain tissue will develop so much that you can understand the spiritual science very easily. If you see the olden days, earlier there was no writing down. In Kali Yuga only we are having this writing down system. But earlier, just listen to the once you listen, it is there in your brain. It will not get erased. Permanently fixed. So all these things we have lost. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let us hear from Srila Prabhupada. Those who like to read can raise their hand. Radha Vallabhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Everything is complete. Purna idham. Although the ocean waters so much, when there is scarcity of water, you have to take help from Krishna. He will evaporate the water. He will make it cloud. Then when it falls down, then it becomes sweet. Otherwise, you cannot touch. Everything is complete.
Thank you, Mataji.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.21. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Nature's arrangement. As soon as the child is born, immediately there is a profuse milk in the breast of the mother. That is the nature's arrangement. Before birth, the food the child immediately require the mother's breast. There is milk supply immediately. Shrimad Bhagavatam 1.2.12, October 23, 1972. Prabhuji, this is very correct. If you don't give a child 6 months, anything, not even water, anything don't give, mother's milk is suffice to let them grow and survive.
Yes.
So God sends the food, khana, pani, everything along with you. He's made such a lovely arrangement.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
But then see again, generation today doesn't want to feed. My figure will get spoiled. I have to come back to my shape. All the patients are coming and saying like that. I don't want to feed.
And there is also problem that some mothers will not get sufficient milk. Then they have to have supplement.
Yeah. And another thing, Prabhuji, small 1 minute I'll take this. Now latest what is coming up, a 3-parent child. Now you can three-parent child is like somebody's, they are taking for genetic engineering so that the child looks much more beautiful. So in somebody else's egg, somebody else's sperm and somebody else's uterus. So these are the things which are coming. I mean, now the latest is coming like from the skin cells, from the somatic cells. They're trying to make up the child. So it probably then you won't even need anybody to make a child.
The very
So this
purpose.
is detrimental. This is really detrimental. What will happen to further generations?
The purpose of children will be lost. The child will become. He don't know. He may reject his both parents after growing up. Why should I take care of you? Who is my parents? I don't have parents. He may speak like that. Anything can happen. Now only since the parents have not given proper education to the children, there are old age homes. The children they just want to live with their wife and children, and they put their parents in the old age home, and hardly they come and see them. Only they spend some money for them. That is also out of courtesy. And if they even worse, they will make. Don't know where it will end.
But now parents who have money, they don't want to stay with the children. They are themselves also going to old age home because to bear all the humiliation, better to stay in old age home. Many of the parents are opting to go also.
Yeah.
No, there are apartments now specific for old people. Many companies in Bangalore target and they make all support arrangements for the care of those. I don't call them parents now, just a male and a female come and stay, and then many other people take care. And they are selling these properties here in Bangalore. Now you can be alone, don't have to depend on anybody. We'll take care of all your needs. They have from the kitchen to the doctor to everything within the complex. And it's existing very much. First, I thought it was just a care home. It is not a care home. After the children, like Dr. Sarita Mataji said, there are children who have rejected parents and parents who are now rejecting children also. Because I don't know, I don't have to take care of you. I didn't take any responsibility. And like you said, if it is, there are children who are rejecting parents from their homes. In America, it is rampant. In India, it has now started. And it is very, very painful to see a smart parent who can manage his own assets, manage his own estate, manage his own funds and finances, because the children are waiting only for tearing apart his funds and his properties. Smart ones keep their property in their own names without writing even a will. Then these people suffer. Actually, like we can't run a show like the Divine is running. It can't be that. It cannot be as perfect as what is being told in this. It's amazing. I also, when I think of it, it is amazing. It is not easily explainable to anybody. What is the wholeness of Krishna or the wholeness of the whole divine inside the whole universe? It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, the very purpose is when we teach our children that this material world is for our enjoyment, there itself we are making a very big mistake, because children only see for happiness. So at any cost, they will try to get it. But we should teach the children that this world is for reformation. Then everything will be fine. Just like Yudhishthir Maharaj, he never accepted the throne until he got the instruction from Bhishma. Because Bhishma was the person who was protecting that throne throughout that age. After Shantanu, Bhishma, even though so many people came and sat on the throne, it was completely under the protection of Bhishma. And when Bhishma instructed, Yudhishthir Maharaj accepted the throne, and he never accepted it for his sense gratification. As soon as he heard that Krishna has left, he also left the throne, and he gave the throne to Parikshit Maharaj. And Prabhupada also says when a person is trained in the Gurukula in the right manner to take care of the praja as their children, they can rule the entire world. But otherwise, the world gets more and more pieces, and everyone try to rule over each other. So there is no peace.
I may add,
Yes, ma'am.
present day Prime Minister also is, he is a live example in current situation.
Yeah. Lot of progress is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody would like to read? Muralidhar Prabhu.
Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So maintenance is taking place. There is one more thing called as concentration camp. Concentration camp means it will be generally done during the war. The person is put behind the bar and just left for dying. This material world is not a concentration camp. Krishna has kept us here, and he has made all the arrangements for our maintenance and sustenance. And he has also made arrangement for giving the education, and also he has taught us how to go back to Godhead. So it is a jail. Jail means you will have food, you will get shelter, and you will get the education if you are a small child or whatever, if it is needed, or the medicines if the person is in need of medicines, or if somebody has some interest in literature, they will get that opportunity also to prove their own abilities. So all kinds of facilities are given, but there is also suffering. To remind that don't try to be here permanently, or in another way, once you go out, don't come back. You should get reformed and never do this mistake once again. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No other unit in the universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. Sri Ishopanishad invocation.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
So there is no extraneous effort from some external source. Everything is completed within itself. This is like one should live locally and think globally. Live locally means our food should be grown within our vicinity. And we should think globally, means entire world should become peaceful, happy. That is the purpose why all the sages gathered in the Naimisharanya, that in Bhagavatam it comes. Their very purpose is to know how the entire humanity can become happy. That is the question what they asked. How the entire humanity can become happy in this world. They were planning to make a 1,000-year sacrifice for that. But at the present moment, we are living globally, but thinking locally. Living globally means if you want to go from one place to another, you need vehicle and it needs fuel, and fuel comes from Gulf or Russia, and that is living globally. If there is any war, the price of the tomato will increase. That is living globally. And thinking locally, I am only thinking about how can I sustain. What about my neighbor? Oh, that I don't know. Let him take care of himself. So that is living globally and thinking locally, selfishly. Rakshita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being, and it is obtained after evolving through 84 lakh species of life in the cycle of birth and death.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is the third paragraph of the purport, what Srila Prabhupada is explaining. He is now coming to the human form of life. So now we are completely convinced that this world is made by Krishna. This world is, according to the Ishopanishad, this world is created by the absolute truth. And he is complete, he is fully capable. And whatever creation he has made, that is also complete. And there is no incompleteness in this material world. But that is not enough. But that is not everything. There is something special also. That is this human form of life. Now we say that the human rights. What are the human rights? People start speaking. Everyone should get their food. They should get shelter, the cloth, everything should be there. Minimum things should be available for everyone in whatever situation they may be. This is the human rights. But actually, this is not human rights. This is animal rights also. Because ahara nidra bhayamaitunam cha samanyametat pashubir naranam. Every living entity that has taken birth in that land is a citizen of that land. This is what Prabhupada gives the definition of a citizen. What is citizenship? One who has taken birth within that land. It may be a cow, it may be a dog, it may be a cat, it may be a rat. It is a citizen. But what modern civilization say, human being is a citizen and cows will be sent to the slaughterhouse. The human being are treated as a citizen, but other animals are slaughtered for his enjoyment. So this is an incomplete system. This is the cause of incompleteness. Now, what is human right then? If animals are also capable of getting this, they get in even better way. We are struggling so much. Whole life we have to struggle. We do our education for 25 to 30 years and get the job. After that, we will be able to feed ourselves. But the animals, they don't need anything. You don't need education. You don't have to undergo so many exams, so much of stress. It is fully stress-free life. Just be, eat, and enjoy. That is animals. Their life is much more better than ours in this Kali Yuga. Now, what is animal? Then what is human right? Human right is to understand the purpose of human form of life. Human form of life, it can offer us the complete opportunity for realizing the completeness. An animal cannot just sit like this and understand or try to learn. Who has made this world? Is this world is complete? Is that person who has made this world is complete? Animal will not think like that. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho, dharmena hina pashubi samana. Dharma, to understand what is right, what is wrong. Again, just getting the knowledge is also there in animals. A tiger knows how to catch the deer. A monkey knows how to get the fruits. A bird knows how to get its food. And it also knows how to feed its children. A bird knows how to teach its small children to fly. A tiger knows how to teach its cubs for catching its prey. So this is nothing special. We may say that I have taught my son to make a lot of money. He has made so much of name. Animals also do that. There is nothing special. Animals do it in an easier manner because they depend on Krishna unknowingly. But we are making everything and we take a lot of scope for that. Then what is the human right? To understand the purpose of this material world, why this world is made and why I have got this human form of life, why this world is made, and also act accordingly. Understand the purpose of this material world and act accordingly. That is the purpose of human life. Purnasya Purnamadaya. Even though so many complete units emanate from him, Purnamevava Shishyate. He remains the complete balance. That is the understanding what we have to get in the human form of life. Radha Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. What kind of God is only zero? In the spiritual world, the one is Purna, and if you take the whole one, it is still one. That they cannot understand, the poor brain. They think materially. If the one is complete and if one is taken away, then it becomes zero.
Continue.
Hare. In the spirit, what kind of God is only zero? Upanishad says, Upanishad say, Purnasya Purnam Adhya Purnam Eva Vishishyate. If from the complete you take the complete remains. Conversation with Professor Hopkins, July 13, 1975, Philadelphia. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So this is the completeness that Prabhupada is explaining. Even if you take millions of completeness from the Lord, then still the Lord remains complete. That is the spiritual mathematics, which we will not be able to understand. Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Krishna expands a million times. Still he's Krishna. Purnam ivavasyate. Krishna is so full that even Krishna expands million times. Still, he's the same thing, Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.18, New Vrindavan 22/6/1969. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dharma. He will eat everything but keep everything. Just like here, something being offered to Krishna, to God, he will eat it. But he will leave everything for you as prasadam. How? Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. This is God's power. He will eat everything, but he will keep everything for you as prasadam. Initiation, June 30, 1972. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Shri Prabhupada Ji ki jai.
Jai. So this is another example we can see. Every day we offer bhoga to the Lord and we get the prasadam and it remains as it is. But still Krishna has accepted it and he has given it as it is. That is the Purna. The prasadam which we get from the Lord is Purna, and whatever we have offered to Krishna is also Purna. Even though it is both are Purna, the Lord has accepted the Purna. Jayanti Mataji.
Krishna Guruji.
Yes, Mataji.
Illusory representation of completeness. We make efforts to utilize the resource of nature to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment. Illusory representation of completeness cannot fully satisfy us. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Enjoyment through the sense gratification is possible only in illusion. Or one can become completely happy only in illusion through the sense gratification. So when we try to enjoy our senses, and if we think that I'm enjoying, it is like we are undergoing the illusion. Reflect on experiences of incompleteness in your life. So this was earlier was the question, how this world is complete. Now the question is, how do you say this world is incomplete? Those who would like to answer can raise their hand. Why do you say this world is incomplete? What are the incompleteness present? It will be difficult. This is how the Upanishads will speak. They will prove something, and again they will disprove it, whatever proved. Like that. This is for people who wants to do the brainstorming and do the analysis. Yes, Prabhu.
This is the image I can think of. Incomplete are those lives that have gone before their due dates. Those who commit suicides or those who are into violence so frequently, that portion of life will remain incomplete till their designated time that they need to have been here. So they have to take the form of a ghost or remain in a spirit. That's the part I can think of. Correct me, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Many times we talk about there is shortage of water. We may be staying very near to sea, but then too we are not helpless. We can't drink that kind of a water. So we think our Though we are close to water, we can't use it. So there comes our inability to get drinking water. So that in that way, we can say that we are facing, we are facing that incompleteness. That is one thing. And secondly, there is so much of competition in the study of in the studies right now in the education system. Everybody is competing. So under such conditions, we can see those intelligent lot who are in the IIMs and IITs and all, they all are committing suicide. What is the reason behind it? How they are getting the frustration, even though they are provided with everything and they are supposed to be the highly intelligent lot. So there also we can find some sort of incompleteness. This only I am remembering, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. What is coming to my mind is like the relationships, Prabhuji. Like people choose their partners and all horoscope also will match, everything will be perfect, but still they won't be happy with each other. So this thing came to my mind, like incompleteness is there. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is all there in the modern life, Prabhuji. There's so much of incompleteness, even achieving best of the achievements of life. You thrive to be achieving the highest post, but you see how the people are dissatisfied and going and down. Like you see the person who's CCD, who was owning the coffee cafe day, how he committed suicide. When the world in the vision of the world, he's a successful person. He made it so many outlets. In the materialistic world, he's a very successful person. But internally, probably there's some incompleteness. And to achieve that completeness of life, we are incompleting our life and then succumbing to that incompleteness. See, because what we are doing in a rat race, running to achieve a higher goal, we are missing out the most substantial things in the life. We are missing out on how life has to be lived, how the life has to be followed. Like you said, we do not think it to be a jail. We think it is a place that we have come here to enjoy, to achieve, and to become richer and richer and richer. And there is no limit for that richness. So that is what the materialistic life is totally bewildering us into this world. And that's why we are not realizing that what we have come for. And that's why I think so what ISKCON is helping us a lot to come out of that entanglement, so that we realize how to get into Maya is easy, but to come out of the Maya is very difficult. Once you get entangled, it's like tentacles, it holds you so tightly, then to coming out is so difficult, and that does the people get stuck up over there. See, in an attempt to rise, they take up the debts, they take up the loans from the banks, and then that becomes a vicious circle, which is unstoppable and which cannot be reversed back. And in that attempt, the people forget that they are not complete in life. And that is what the mental turmoil is so much, that they land up with incompleteness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, one example that I could think of is of the infrastructure, the development that is currently going on. The term that is being used is the urban development. And earlier we had during the rural areas, during the olden times, whatever we had, actually people were really satisfied with everything. But now it is like, even at the cost of destroying forests, so much of cutting of trees is happening, everything, they are unable to provide the dwelling for the people, for the human lot. And not only that, still they complain of the increase in population. Whereas it is mentioned somewhere, I read that, I think it was in Bhagavatam or Ishopanishad, that God is providing for everyone. Even if a single person is born, he is under the custody and protection of the Lord. And Lord is providing for that particular person. So no one is left unattended. But still people, they complain because they have their growing desires, their, this greed and everything is coming out. It is all because of that they start complaining on the population front, that, okay, it is the population, human population is increasing. So this is the incompleteness, because they are trying to build a better world according to their own perception. So this is something which I wanted to quote, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rakshita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, two examples I wanted to tell you was the education system. So, NND Prabhuji keeps giving this example. A donkey works hard day and night, and then for that, one blade of grass, and grass is available everywhere. It can just escape from its master and go eat grass for 24 hours. No need to work. So the same thing is happening with the education system also. We are being taught what is not going to help us for like recently Bhagavatam class, Prabhuji was saying every engineer he met was not actually taking up engineering profession. It was other professions that they had taken up. Then why did they study engineering? So the main knowledge is not being given. We are the soul, not the body. That knowledge is not given in the education system, so it's incomplete. And the second point is not being able to use this life for what we are supposed to use it for. That is one thing that is making the entire human life incomplete. Ties back to what Sarita Kapoor Mataji told. So our inability to understand the goal of life and then work towards it. So that makes everything incomplete. Whatever is there around us, which is complete, but there is no point because we are not using it for what we are supposed to use it for. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shri Hari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. It is my own experience of incompleteness. As a child, we were always raised and told by our elders that once in life you have good degrees and a lot of money, wealth, and a good spouse and a good family and kids and all, then you are like you have a thought of any luxurious item and you can go and buy it. Then that's like you've arrived in life and you have attained the maximum, and that is the up life setting. So now there is nothing, there is no quench or no running around everything. But now after like during COVID, I realized that by God mercy, I've been blessed by all those things, but there was some vacuum which was not filling. Be led to be led to see, and I was having everything, and I still have everything. But there was something still missing. Then since the time I have got engrossed in this on a regular basis in Krishna consciousness, by the grace of NND Prabhuji, this online course and all, though Lord was a part of my life since my childhood, but maybe he was connected to me, but I was not connected to the Lord. And since the time I have connected to the Lord in a regular mode or in Krishna conscious method or by the ISKCON way, I find that I was a fool running around for all those years. My 40 years of life has been wasted. Rather than running around materialistic achievements and being happy and searching my completeness in all those things, it was totally a different 180-degree turn. Like now I regret that why I wasted my life on that, why I was not aware that this thing has to take my priority rather than the things which I was running around. So that is how I felt incomplete. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We think that if some people they glorify us to be complete, then only we'll become happy. That is not true. The completeness is there within us when we understand the Lord. Nobody will glorify you unless they have some profit from you. So they will get something from you. Other than that, they will not do that. So if your happiness is depending on their opinion, then you will never become happy, or you will not never feel the completeness. Jayanti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I want to talk about the inventions of human race. First, when we have invented the plastic things, we thought that we are the great, we have invented these things, that things, and all can be made of plastic, and we are the great. We demo how delete it, and that they are demons. We don't know. We created the demons. Not only that one, many inventions of human race is like that only, which we don't know to demolish now. That incompletedness in our life, we can feel in our day-to-day life, from morning till each and every creation of our race is nearly like that only. That incompletedness we can feel. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So it is not that earlier people were not knowing the petroleum products or making these vehicles like this. they also knew that if you make this, there will be a lot of problem. So they have not got into that activity. But modern Kali Yuga, they are destroying themselves by making all these kinds of experiments. How can the invocation of Sri Vishopanishad help us make our life complete? Now we have understood Krishna is complete and Krishna's creation is also complete, and both are complete. So this knowledge, how it can help us to make ourselves complete. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So from this mantra, we understand that I alone cannot enjoy in this world. So I need to understand that I am part and parcel of the Lord. And only when I understand that and I engage in devotional service, I'll be able to be happy. Otherwise, happiness will be an illusion. So this I can understand from this one, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you. Hare Krishna. Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, actually, as you mentioned, this is a rehabilitation center for us. And every time we have to ensure, I mean, we should always be alert and we should know that this is not a place for me to enjoy. But what we have to do is it automatically comes in our consciousness when we start dovetailing our desires with Lord's. And there is just a small example how we can really help with the others also in community. Like yesterday we went out. And now it is like I mean, my friends, they know that I usually don't eat onion garlic. So even at least for a day, they are able to make something without onion garlic. It is like a thankful note to the Lord because they do so in such a nice, they are doing it as a nice gesture. And not only that, Prabhuji, I took the bhoga because I offered the bhoga at home and I took the prasada for them. So indirectly, in some way, we are trying to build in and bring in Krishna consciousness for everyone. And this is really nice. They start, in case if there are certain difficulties, or even when we are talking, at least they say Hare Krishna, or they say they take Krishna's name.
Yes.
So this is really a very nice initiative, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whoever we have, friends, relatives, they have that affection for us. So that affection also can be offered to Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Now, from this Ishopanishad, we can understand that Lord Krishna is complete. And since we are part of him, we are also complete. And if we feel some sort of incompleteness, then we have to try, we have to just analyze why we are incomplete. And again, we can just analyze the youngsters whoever underprivileged people, we can guide them properly so that they can understand what they are expected to do. I can give one example, means actually speaking, from the entire lot of talk from last 2 years, we are understanding, we are finding happiness in a temporary world, and that is not possible. So now we reached up to that level that Lord Krishna is complete and we are part of him. So we are also complete. So we have, every day we have to remind, say, I am from a complete and I am also complete. So then whatever incompleteness comes on my way, I should not be disturbed. I should not be illusioned. That part I must be clear. Then I can talk to the person who is coming next to me. One small example I can tell, we are just comparing with the this one, habitat and the environment. Always there is a tussle between habitat and environment. Habitat is supposed to be the dwelling place of all living beings. I am not telling it is human and other. Everybody is living in an ecosystem where there is both give and take relationship. So it belongs to everybody. It is the duty of everyone to look into the environment. Then there won't be any pollution in the environment. So it is a self-balanced system which is created by Purnam. And suppose we are bringing some activity, we are putting our hand into that, then the system is disturbed. Then again to restore into the original state, that is very difficult. Now coming to that feeding habit, I can say that we all are we all are feeding on plants, vegetarian food. Now in the vegetarian food also we can understand that all those plants, they are living things, but at the same time, their sensitivity is less compared to the higher animals. For example, the brain system, or you can say there will be cell tissues but there is no organ. So once it comes to the organ system and the organism, this is how the things are happening. So they are less sensitive compared to if you're cutting a twig of a plant, that twig will once again grow. But if you're cutting a hand of any animal, it will not grow. So that says that no, you are just destroying an animal just for your own sense gratification. But when you analyze our denture, we can easily make out our canines are very small. It is only to break small nuts and all. It is not for tearing the flesh. But when you compare it with the mouth parts of all eagle, vulture, and again tiger and lion, we can find how this tiger, lion, their canines are very extraordinary. But at the same time, vulture and tearing the flesh, such kind of parts are given by God himself. So he made all his creations complete because he is complete. But when we try to do our own manipulation, then the entire system will be affected. We should avoid that. And every day we have to remind, I am from complete, I am complete, and I should make others also complete. I will not disturb the system. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, for me, I feel that what this indicates is that there's developing a very good communication and very good relationship with the Lord. That I'm an incomplete, come out of the complete, and I have to complete myself and go to the complete. Now, that is what I always feel, that this is that we are incomplete, we have to complete and go back. And that is mainly, you remember, you get this to know when you are overwhelmed with chaos or some difficulty in the life. That is a time how the prayers give you peace. But now that because we wait for that situation to come, when we become more incomplete, then we think of the complete. But if we keep thinking that we are part of a complete, so then that situation also will be thinking that it is a Lord's creation, and maybe he wants us to go to the complete, and that's why he's giving this incompleteness to me, because probably I'm bewildering from the path. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Shri Hari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Since God, we have understood that God is complete and everything that emanates from God is complete in itself. So this thought process which we have understood, it helps us in changing our own perception, attitude, dealing and handling with all the jivas, whether it is plants, animals, or our own relations, relatives, friends, or whosoever we come across with. Because normally it is a human tendency, we try to find faults, or we try to just gauge that there is some deficiency over here, there is something missing. But when we know that since we all are part and parcels of the God, and God himself is so complete and perfect, so somewhere, because we all are part and parcel, we have that transcendental spiritual nature in ourselves, which is covered by Maya. So maybe that needs to be uncovered. So like in relationships, or when we come across people, so we should take that initiative, that try to make them join only by Krishna consciousness, or just by talking in an indirect fashion about Krishna, or a little bit of philosophy also added according to Srila Prabhupada's analogies. It has helped, at least in my experience, it has helped to change people's perception, also in my own perception, where I was only seeing negative in an individual or in a situation. I started seeing it as, no, this is itself is perfect and complete. I think this wrong was needed to make it more perfect and complete. Everything does not need to be right always as per what I assume it to be, because God has his own way of showing what is right by adding, because a black dot also sometimes enhances the beauty of the white and makes it a complete. So that perception and attitude change was the biggest learning which I have understood from this completeness and absoluteness of the God. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. The medicine is needed in the hospital. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I think Sarita Mataji will do the kirtan. I'm very sorry we forgot in the flow of discussion. Sarita Mataji, can you do the kirtan? You can raise your hand. I'll make you the co-host. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Share the screen. So this is from Tavamala, written by Rupa Goswami Prabhupada. Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Jayate. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. Damodara Rati Vardhana Veshe. Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Vrishabhanudadi Navashashileke. Vrishabhanudadi Navashashileke. Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake. Lalita Saki Guna Ramita Vishake. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite. Karunam Kurumai Karuna Bharite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Hare Krishna. Translation. Yes, Prabhu. O Radha, O beloved of Madhava, O you are O you who are worshipped by all the young girls of Gokula, all glories unto you, all glories unto you. O new moon that has arisen from the ocean of King Vrishabhanu, O friend of Lalita, O you who make Vishaka loyal to you due to your wonderful qualities of friendliness, kindness, and faithfulness to Krishna. O you who are filled with compassion, O you whose divine characteristics are described by the great sages Sanaka and Sanatana. O Radha, please be merciful to me. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, this shloka was Purna or completeness. Now we have understood Krishna is complete and we are also complete. But we are not as complete as Krishna. There is some difference between our completeness and Krishna's completeness. What is that difference? Krishna is independently complete and the living entities are dependent complete. The absolute truth is infinite and the living entity are infinitesimal. It's like a spark and the big fire. When the spark is in touch with the big fire, it will also have the energy, the quality of the fire. But when it gets separated, it will lose the quality. When the infinitesimal joins the infinite, it will also have the same quality as that of the infinite, and it will be considered as infinite or complete. But if it is separated, then there is incompleteness. So this is the conclusion of all the discussions that we have made. Those who would like to read. Yeah, Radha Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So long we are attached to Krishna, just like a big machine, and there is a small screw. The completeness of the small screw is to fit in a particular place. Then it has got value. And if it is out of touch of the machine, it has no value. So we are complete units, so long we are attached to Krishna, otherwise useless. Invocation, April 27, 1970.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Jai. When we have a machine, it will have so many screws. And these screws, when it is needed, if you go and ask the hardware shop, they'll charge you nicely because they know what is the purpose, why you use it for. But if it is, you have somewhere it is lying in the road, and the person who looks at it, he doesn't know why it is used. He'll just look at it and he'll just go. He will not understand what is the purpose of it. So when we are connected to Krishna, just like when we seek for that particular screw, which can make the machine to work, we are ready to pay for it any amount of money. But when we don't know the value of that screw, or when the screw is separated from the machine, or it is unfit for being used in the machine, then it is of no use. It has no value. Another example, when we have any infection in your hand, our small finger has got some infection. We are ready to spend any amount of money to get it cured. Why? Because it is giving me pain. I want to get it cured, and this finger will be useful. But if the finger is cut off and removed, many purposes, sometimes the gangrene and all happens, and you'll just remove it, and then we don't have any attachment for that finger. We don't say the doctor, please don't throw that finger. I want to keep it with me. No, we don't care. We don't know what they do after that. We are only bothered, okay, at least whatever remaining portion is there, that is fine. Let me get cured from this problem. So once it gets detached, or when it is getting separated, it has no value. But when it is in service to Krishna, it has all the values. When the devotees are serving the Lord, they are provided with all kinds of facility for serving Krishna. But when we are going for sense gratification, it will be based on our own punya and papa. Whatever pious activity or this impious activity we have done, accordingly, we can do our sense gratification. But if we see the glory of so many pure devotees of the Lord, just like Hanuman can jump over the sea, or Arjuna can fight for the entire army, so he can become victorious. This is all because of the Lord, because they are surrendered to the Krishna, because they are completely under the protection of the Lord. In Bhagavatam itself, we can see after the war, when Krishna finished his activities, his pastimes, then Arjuna was defeated with coward boys. Arjuna had Gandiva in his hand, but he could not do anything. Some cowherd boys, they could also defeat Arjuna, because at that time Krishna was not there with him. So in this way, as long as we are connected to Krishna, or we are trying to connect to Krishna, our life will be glorious. Otherwise, we are useless. The principles of existence of Supreme Personality of Godhead on the basis of statement Om Purnam Adaha is presented, and nature of the spiritual potencies of the Supreme Person with reference to Purnam Eva Avashishyate. Both remains Purna, complete. Discuss the complete nature of this phenomenal world with examples with reference to Purnamidam, and experiences of feeling incomplete in our own life. The reasons are described, and some of the personal applications, like what we can draw from the invocation of Ishopanishad, which could help in our life to make it complete. Finally, Jayanti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All services in this world, completeness, all services in this world are so political communal in even till they detailed with complete whole. Invocation.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So social, political, communal, international, or interplanetary, anything it may be, if the Lord is at the center, then it is complete. If the Lord is not there at the center, then it is incomplete. So this is one statement of the conclusion for all the discussions, whatever we have made now. So completeness is there everywhere, but it is in the presence of the Lord, not in the absence. With this, we have come to the, okay. This is the next coming sessions, how we go further. We have only done the invocation now. Live in harmony with the Ishvara. This is the next invocation up to the shloka number 3. The subject is how to live in the harmony with Ishvara. First, we are today just understood that completeness is there. It is there with the Lord. It is there with us. And how to re-establish this completeness that we have understood. In the next coming sessions, we will be continuing Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kim Jagatyam Jagat. How we have to practice this completeness, or how to bring Krishna in our life, and what are the obstacles, all those things. And 4 to 8, Ishvara can be understood by spiritual vision. How to understand the Lord. That is, first of all, living with the in harmony with the Lord, and then how to understand the Lord. And then there are 2 things. One is Vidya, other one is Upasana. Vidya means the knowledge for understanding Krishna. What is the right, what is wrong. And again, the process, the Upasana, what is right and what is wrong for worshipping. And finally, we have to pray to the Lord. Even after making all the endeavors, the Lord still has the right not to reveal himself. We cannot force him. Krishna have chanted 16 rounds daily, please come before me. That is not possible. It is in his hand. If he likes, he will come. If he don't like, he don't come. He may ask, you chant for a few more years, then I will come. You are still not ready. Okay, you have to continue. So we have to pray to Krishna, please reveal yourself. So that is the final subject. So with this, we have come to the conclusion of today's session. Jai. If there is any questions regarding today's discussion, you can raise your hand and ask the questions. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for today's session. And one question I'm asking out of today's portion, because it happened in today's class, only Adil Krishna Prabhuji was taking that Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela and all. So there I heard Prana Chaitanya Prabhu was asking some questions, and he was just asking second initiation is a must or not. And see now, and he was also quoting from Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion in our mind, because last week only we finished with all examinations. So that first 3 things we are doing, first 3 points, then last 5 we know that we had written the examination. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had assured us, anyone who is chanting the holy name will be glorified by the demigods also. Somewhere we read in Nectar of Devotion.
Yeah.
So then how can you relate this part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the second initiation, Prabhuji? Brahman Diksha, I mean. Hare Krishna, am audible? Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, you are audible. Actually, unfortunately, I have not attended today's morning class. I was in another Tulu class. So I don't know what happened in the class. What Prabhuji told?
No, nothing happened, Prabhuji. Only thing, what is your understanding? You please let us know. That's it.
Yeah, what Prabhuji answered, Prabhuji might have answered, no, this question.
But it was not very clear to me, because we were just thinking, no, right now you said I am chanting 16 rounds and take me. Again, we have to pray God that you take us back, because it is his mercy, isn't it? But at the same time, we are following all the regulative principles, we are Rubanugas, everything we are following. But at the same time, there is no guarantee that we will be going back. But again, suppose we are just believing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, whoever has chanted once, at least the holy name, that person is eligible for getting glorification from demigods also. So where we stand exactly?
Yeah, saying that Krishna, we have to pray. Not only doing sadhana, we have to pray. It is why it is told like that? Because Krishna is a person. It is not a machine. Just like you have ATM card, you know the password, you insert, you will get the money. But it is not happening with Krishna. It is not that 16 rounds is the password and you go there and chant 16 rounds, the Vaikuntha door will open. No, it is a personal. It is also true that even without chanting, Krishna can take you back to Godhead. That is also possible. It is all in his hand. There are many great acharyas of previous ages where just by giving them a small service, the devotees just came and touched their lotus feet and they went back to Godhead. And they gave some prasadam for them, they went back to Godhead. So it is whatever process is given, this is like institutionalized devotional service. What is institutionalizing? It is like you are making certain kind of procedures, like we say standard operating procedure, SOP. What is the SOP for devotees? Get up early in the morning, attend Mangalarti, finish your 16 rounds, read Bhagavatam, all Prabhupada books, and follow 4 regular principles. This is like going like a system. But Krishna is not bound within this system. We have to pray to Krishna. We should have prayerful mood so that Krishna will take us back. Otherwise, if you become very proud, oh, I am regularly attending Mangalarti, so I will definitely go back to Godhead. That pride itself will bring us down. In that way, it is told that we have to pray to Krishna. It is not that Krishna, there is no certainty that Krishna will take you back to Godhead. Definitely, Krishna will take us back to Godhead, but we should not take it for granted. And regarding the second initiation, it is for Brahmanas, those who do the deity service, it is the must. Other than that, whatever the first initiation is sufficient for taking one back to Godhead. If you're chanting regularly 16 rounds, it can take you back to Godhead. That is what I heard from Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Even I heard the same thing. So after hearing today's lecture, I was just wondering, somebody should be recommending you, then only you will be getting also all those talks were there in the morning. Like then this is what you said, this only I heard it from my Guru Maharaj also.
Yeah.
So just to do the deity in the temple, you require second Diksha or Brahman Diksha. Then I was just thinking, in myself, I was just thinking, 1 month, almost 15 days back, we were listening. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is freely distributing holy name to everybody. So we are chanting that only. So we are coming under his mercy. That's the reason we are doing it now. Otherwise, why we should do it? We are doing it without any force. We started doing it. So at least we will get a birth in a good family where we can continue from wherever we are stopping in this life.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Thank you, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and explanation. Thank you so much.
Recommendation is spoken because it has to come through the parampara.
Okay.
We should utter the pranam mantra of Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and all the acharyas who are coming in our parampara. Through that only we go back to Godhead. Otherwise, we cannot directly jump over. That is why it is told we should be recommended by someone. Prabhupada introduces us to Krishna.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such an inspirational session.
Hare.
Prabhuji, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
So, Prabhuji, the first one is about the exam, like for Ishopnishad and I mean, we'll be studying Ishopnishad as well as Updeshamrit. So, Prabhuji, will the exams be held separately or will there be one exam for both of them?
One exam.
Okay, so we'll be covering both the books first and then we'll have an exam.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you. Prabhuji, the second question is from the first chapter. Prabhuji, please correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding. Here it is like a person has, we are conditioned souls and we have 4 defects. So I wanted to understand if they are in a certain order or something. If I say that, okay, a person is conditioned, they have defects. So we have imperfect senses, and because of the imperfect senses, we commit mistakes.
Yeah.
And when we commit the mistakes, we try to hide them. And
Yes.
so we have this cheating propensity, and which is everything. All these 3 things are because of the illusion. So
Hmm.
if I go in this sequence, is it okay if I consider it in this sequential order?
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji?
It is correct.
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. And Prabhuji, the third question is related to our practical application. I always contemplate on this, and this is related to Mangal Aarti. For 2 successive weeks, I'll be able to attend Mangal Aarti on daily basis.
Okay.
But it happens once in a while that I miss one day. And then I start feeling guilty, because that I get such thoughts in my mind that are all the devotees so perfect that they never miss the Mangal Aarti on any single day. And this really, I get demotivated also. And then, so Prabhuji, please help me with this, because this is like, it brings me this feeling that, okay, I'm not doing the right service to Krishna. And I say sorry also, but yes, it happens. And I get this feeling that I'm not perfect because I'm not able to follow it on, I'm not consistent. I feel that. So it is like, it goes, the graph is there. It is consistent for a while, like 2-3 weeks, it is consistent. But as soon as one day is missed, it gets skipped. And those such kind of feelings, they start arising in mind, and it really disturbs the devotional service, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Would you please guide on this? Thank you, Prabhuji.
it's a healthy fear. It should be
Oh,
there. It's
okay.
good to keep us in track. But if otherwise, what happens? We take it for granted. While chanting also, if we just allow our mind to wander here and there and somehow finish 16 rounds, as we go on doing like that, then we take it for granted. Somehow I'll chant and I'll finish. So like this only. And attending Mangalarti, it is compulsory. Strictly speaking, it is compulsory for all the devotees to attend Mangalarti. And even during the initiation, they will ask this question. Are you attending Mangalarti daily? And if you are not, how many do you miss in a month?
Okay.
That question will be asked. So if there is any very genuine case, then it's okay. Otherwise, as far as possible, one must attend the Mangalarti.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji. Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare.
But Prabhuji, is every devotee perfect? Seriously, it's
No,
very
Mataji. There
difficult
are
for the
many.
complete month.
There are many difficulties people will face. But if you are staying in temple, no, it will be easy. But you should be very strict in sleeping at the right time.
Yes.
There will be so many reasons for you to get delayed. But sometimes those reasons will be very silly. Somebody came to you and started speaking, and you just check yourself whether you can do this tomorrow also. Is it necessary, or it is very urgent to be completed now itself? If no, then you just continue, just go and sleep before 9, or at least by 9:30. Then it will not be a problem. The main problem is we take it for granted. Our today will decide our tomorrow. So today, what time we sleep, it will decide whether we'll attend the Mangalarti tomorrow or not.
True. Sure. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Any other questions? Okay. If there are no more questions, then we'll end for today. I request all the devotees to read the Ishopanishad shlokas. I'll not be giving any test on that, but it is expected that we have studied Ishopanishad and Upadeshamrita, means we should know at least to read those shloka, because it is very less in number, 18 here and 11 there. So at least pronunciation wise. Otherwise, if you are first time reading Ishopanishad, you just can't utter the word. It is so complicated because it is Shruti mantra. So just listen to the, or just every day you hear the chanting, or you can read the shlokas every day so that some fluency will come while chanting. I thank all the devotees for attending today's class and actively participating in the session. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam. All Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.